After 10 years, Jamie Dornan and Dakota confessed this to 50 Shades fans. Everyone was shocked. A decade has passed since 50 Shades of Grey, the most controversial film of the 2010s, was released to global audiences. Even though many years have passed, the couple Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson are still associated with the image of Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele, the characters they have lived with for nearly 5 years of their career. No one expected that, on the occasion of the 10th anniversary, they would suddenly appear together in a global live interview organized by Netflix, titled, "We Never Told This About 50 Shades." Jamie wore an ash-colored sweater, his eyes calm but sparkling with something as if he was keeping it secret. Dakota, elegant in a simple black dress, sat next to him. The two look into the camera, exchange a knowing look, and Dakota says, "It's time for us to tell the truth that we've been keeping for 10 years. Something that no one knows. Not the producers, not our friends, just us. And, it might shock people, behind the cast." When 50 Shades of Grey began filming in 2014, everyone knew it was going to be one of the most risky projects in Hollywood. Sex scenes, BDSM relationships, and millions of die-hard fans watching every move, all of it put the entire crew under extreme pressure. Jamie admits, "At the time, I had a wife and a young child. I thought I would just be an actor. But what I didn't expect was that I wasn't just an actor anymore." Dakota paused for a few seconds, then continued. "In between takes, there were moments when we forgot we were filming. There was real emotion, real pain, and a connection that neither of us were ready to face, unnamed feelings." After the romantic piano scene in the first film, Dakota clearly remembers, "I went back to my room and cried. Not because I was embarrassed. Not because I was tired. But because I felt lost. I couldn't tell if it was Anastasia who felt, or me." Dakota. Jamie admits that every time they did a love scene, they had an unspoken rule: always touch each other for real, but keep your hearts apart. But by the middle of the second film, 50 Shades Darker, that rule collapsed. One time, Jamie says, after the bathroom scene, "We stayed on set until 3 a.m. No one left. No one said anything. We just sat next to each other and held hands." Point 10 year keeping secret. Fans have speculated for years, did Jamie and Dakota ever fall in love in real life? The answer, finally confirmed, yes. But the timing was never right. Dakota says, her voice quiet, "When I realized I was in love with him, he was the perfect husband. I couldn't break that." But emotions don't listen. Jamie continues, "Me too. One night I wrote her a long letter, then tore it up. I thought I did the right thing. But for the past 10 years, I've been wondering, what would have happened if I had kept that letter?" Viewers watching the livestream, some crying, some silent. Twitter, Instagram exploded. ## Jamie Dakota Truth climbed to #1 worldwide within 30 minutes, the distance between U.S. After the series ended in 2018, Jamie and Dakota avoided public appearances together. No social media interactions, no double interviews, no personal meetings. And there was a reason for it. Dakota confessed, "We had to avoid each other. Because if we kept running into each other, I was afraid we wouldn't be able to stop." Jamie was silent, nodding. "I drove to Dakota's house one night in Los Angeles. I stopped in front of the door. I drove away. I didn't go in. I chose family. But I still remember that night, every second." After Jamie Dornan finished the 50 Shades series, he continued his career with films such as The Fall, A Private War, Belfast. Meanwhile, Dakota Johnson pursued independent roles, from Suspiria to The Lost Daughter, and became a style icon and a distinct personality in Hollywood. But the two never worked together again, no collaboration, not a single real-life photo. Jamie admitted in an interview, "People thought we broke up. The truth is, we agreed not to contact each other." Dakota nodded, "We were afraid. Afraid of the feelings coming back. Afraid of breaking the right thing. Jamie is a good man. I don't want to be the reason why he is not like that anymore." The unexpected call after 8 years, in 2023, as Dakota was preparing to produce her first film under her own company, she suddenly received a text message. "Are you ready to talk?" It was from Jamie. After 8 years, she recounts, "I read that message for 3 hours. No response. Then I called back. We talked for 5 hours, about everything, except love." That call was the beginning of their agreement to participate in the 10th anniversary program of 50 Shades. But on one condition, it had to be a place to tell the truth, the fateful days in Paris. The live stream interview took place in Paris, where the final scenes of 50 Shades Freed were filmed. Before the cameras rolled, Jamie and Dakota met in the waiting room. No one knows what they said during those 10 minutes. But Jamie revealed, "She asked me one question. Did you ever really love me? I said, I never stopped." Dakota turned away to hide her tears. She said, "That answer, both healed and destroyed me." The truth behind the confession, at the end of the global interview, when asked if they ever regretted not being together, Dakota was silent for a long time. Then, she said, "I don't regret it because we kept our promise to ourselves, not to hurt anyone. But I will always regret it, because that love lived in silence." Jamie turned to look at Dakota, not hiding her first tear of the conversation. "I thought that one day, when my kids were grown, when everything was settled, I could go find her. But I realized, there are friends you never keep. You just miss the global reaction." Less than 24 hours after the interview aired, more than 40 million views on YouTube. #Jamie and Dakota exploded across Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. A series of artists, critics, journalists posted about Hollywood's most shocking 10-year confession. One comment went viral. "They don't just act out love. They live it, and then they bury it. We don't deserve that kind of love, quiet, loyal, impossible. Life after the truth." A month after the interview, Jamie returned to Ireland, avoiding the media. Dakota returned to Los Angeles, where she continued working with the production company. It is not clear whether they remained in touch after that, but a few weeks later, a fan accidentally took a photo of Dakota sitting in a small cafe in Dublin, looking out the window, holding an old brown notebook. The photo quickly went viral. A blogger wrote, "They may not be together, but I believe they will always carry each other, like a scar, painful, but also a place where there was a heartbeat." Quote,